Welcome. This is Tracy Wallach, and this will be the first in a series of lectures on group relations theory and practice. Group relations is both a theory and a method. In this brief talk, I want to introduce you to group relations theory and practice. The theory provides a framework in which we can begin to conceptualize and understand how things work in organizations and society, and the methods provide tools for intervening in a structured way. Group relations has also been referred to as systems psychodynamics theory, socioanalytic theory, or as Tavistock theory. The Tavistock Institute in London is where it all originated after World War II. Following the devastation of Europe from the war and the Holocaust, social scientists from a number of disciplines on both sides of the Atlantic tried to make sense of what happened in the war. The discipline of social psychology has its roots in this time. Group relations, or systems psychodynamics, is actually an integration of a few different theories. Psychoanalytic theory, with its attention to the unconscious and defense mechanisms, open systems theory, which looks at the relationship between a system or organization and its environment, and finally the work of Wilfred Bion, which addresses various ways that whole groups can behave irrationally. The next 3 lectures that will be posted on this website will describe each of these different elements of systems psychodynamics in more depth. Group relations is also a method or a practice. The most well-known form of practice, and perhaps also the most misunderstood, is the Group Relations Conference. The Group Relations Conference, or GRC method, is concerned with the exercise of leadership and authority and the dynamics that arise in a group around that. It is a unique form of learning in which members learn about the practice of leadership and authority through their experience as it happens in the context of the conference. The word conference can be misleading and evoke the image of traditional academic or professional meetings in which expert faculty or speakers lecture or actively facilitate sessions while the audience passively takes in information. A group relations conference is a temporary organization, and participants learn through their experience as it happens. Both participants and staff are participant observers who work together to make meaning of the temporary organization or system that they are co-creating. The method of working, particularly the way in which the consultants work, may at first seem unfamiliar or even strange. The consultants do not engage in typical activities that one may have come to expect from a group leader, facilitator, or manager. They do not engage in the typical social rituals of introducing themselves, providing an agenda, or prescribing what participants should learn by the end of this activity. Because the way they take up their roles as consultants may not conform to expectations of authority figures, participants may find themselves immediately confronted with their own expectations of authority. Participants may find this experience strange or even jarring and may have strong emotional reactions in response. Sharing these responses can be fruitful and allow opportunities for participants to reflect upon and examine their own expectations of authority. It also provides opportunities for them to exercise their own authority. Typically, conferences consist of 2 different kinds of events: here and now events and reflection events. Here and now events consist of the small study group, the large study group, and the institutional event, which may also be referred to as the intergroup event or systems event. Reflection events consist of plenary sessions and role analysis or review and application sessions. During the here and now events, the group's primary task is to study its own behavior as it emerges in the here and now. The small study group will consist of 8 to 12 conference members plus a consultant sitting in a circle. The large study group consists of the entire conference membership, which may be 100 people or more, plus 3 to 4 consultants. The seating arrangement, which may be in a spiral, double spiral, concentric circle, or other formation, creates an environment where not all participants can see each other. This can elicit a crowd dynamic. Finally, in the institutional or intergroup event, participants have the chance to form their own groups and examine the dynamics that emerge within and between the groups that form in the system. The staff forms its own group and acts as managers of the event. In some conferences, the staff is split into two groups, with one acting as management and the other serving in a consulting function. Participants may observe the management group and also delegate members to meet with other groups in the system, as attempts are made to make sense of the dynamics of the whole system that is being created. The conference opens and closes in plenary, as does the institutional event. These events introduce the task of the conference or the institutional event and also provide opportunities for members and staff to reflect upon their experiences. These events include the entire staff and membership, though the opening institutional event plenary may include only a few of the staff. The final reflection event is the RAG, which can stand for either Role Analysis Group or Review and Application Group. I will discuss these in a separate lecture. RAGs may be convened throughout the conference and consist of 4 to 8 members and a consultant. Here, participants can examine the roles they've been taking up during the conference and how those may resemble the roles they take up in other parts of their lives, in their work, in their community, and in their families. Over the years, conference directors have experimented with adding new kinds of event structures to add to or replace traditional events. Some examples are the Dream Matrix, the Marketplace event, the World event, and the Listening Post. Some of these, such as the Dream Matrix or Listening Post, may be held as freestanding events. They will be discussed in later presentations. For more information, please refer to the following references. Please visit my website at www.tracywallach.com.